Gautam Adani faces a serious challenge as the United States courts witnessed a criminal and a civil case filed against Adani Green Energy Limited for alleged payments to acquire solar energy contracts back in India. So the allegation is that Adani paid $265 million as bribes to acquire the solar energy contracts. Well, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission filed a civil case and the Department of Justice of the US government filed a criminal case. So now the stage is at the level of indictment. If you speak in terms of the Indian law, it's like filing the charge sheet. Well, some experts call even above that. But still, it is an indictment stage. Nobody knows what will happen. But the Department of Justice claims that their conviction rate is 98%, unlike our Enforcement Directorate, CBI, where the conviction rate is abysmally low. So the Union Finance Minister Pankaj Chaudhary, State Minister for State Finance, Pankaj Chaudhary told Parliament that the conviction rate in the ED cases is just 4.6%. Unlike the India's conviction rates, the conviction rates are fairly high in the United States. I am not substantiating the 98% claim by the Department of Justice, but something is true. One thing is certainly true, that the conviction rates are fairly high. So this is something which Gautam Adani should be worried of, because experts of law in the United States say that the US law enforcement agencies do not come to the stage of indictment unless they have a very strong evidence. And this Department of Justice functions independently, not unlike our country, where law enforcement agencies, investigating agencies may or may not be technically independent, but in reality work as agents of government. The Supreme Court calls CBI as a parrot in the cage. So now the Gautam Adani faces a serious challenge, therefore. What will happen to him? If the conviction takes place, the United States can arrest Gautam Adani. Well, he's an Indian citizen, he's living in India, how can US arrest him? Well, there's a procedure for that. India and the United States have a bilateral extradition treaty. So when a country which is part of this treaty calls for legal assistance from another country, we are obliged to provide that. And we have to hand over the alleged criminal, not just alleged, convicted criminals to that country. Well, the Government of India spokesperson has already remarked, no conversation has taken place on this issue between India and America. Government of India is not informed. It is a case on a private individual and the US law agencies. Government of India at this point of time has nothing to do with the case. However, there is an extradition treaty. In case for a legal assistance is sought by United States, India will respond based on the merits of the case, underline merits of the case. So it is not obligatory or it is not mandatory that India should hand over Gautam Adani even if he is convicted in the US court. It all depends on several factors. That is the reason Government of India spokesperson has already clarified that it depends on the merits of the case. So then what is the solution for that? Well, all hopes are now for Gautam Adani and Trump administration. Will Trump come to the rescue of Gautam Adani? There are several reasons to say perhaps yes. I am telling perhaps yes. I am not confirming. So why perhaps yes? One, obviously, the Modi-Adani nexus, the alleged nexus between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Gautam Adani, and a well-known friendship between Modi and Trump. They are very good friends. There is a personal chemistry between them. Overseas BJP campaigned for Trump. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also indirectly campaigned for Trump. The Howdy Modi, the Namaste Trump are such examples. So both are right-wing governments. Both Republican Party and the Bharatiya Janata Party share an ideological proximity, ideological commonality. So given this kind of a political and personal chemistry between Modi dispensation and Trump administration, and given the alleged nexus between Modi and Adani, there is an every possibility that the Trump administration can rescue Gautam Adani. Well, can it rescue as per the law? Well, I'm not an expert in American law, but Ravi Batra, a well-known Indian-American attorney who is an expert on these issues, speaking to PTI Press Trust of India, said that it's technically and traditionally possible. If the new dispensation in the United States think that this case is unworthy or defective, then the new administration can withdraw the case, can defer the case also. Or if the new administration opines that the case was foisted not in good faith because to hunt the political rivals, then still the administration can withdraw the case. So there is a possibility that if Trump really wants, he can save Gautam Adani. So one factor, the Modi factor, which is an hope for Gautam Adani. And the second factor is, what is the law based on which Gautam Adani was indicted? It is called the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. This act was brought about in the United States when American companies, American multinationals were indulging in the corrupt practices elsewhere in the world to acquire business contracts. So Donald Trump, known for his cold-blooded business strategies, an unabashed supporter of the business lobbies, a big votary for business by hook or crook. So Trump doesn't bother whether it is by corrupt or honest practices. The history of Trump says this. As a businessman, as an individual, Trump has a notorious history. So Trump, therefore, is known for his opposition to the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. He called it a horrible act. He called it as an act detrimental to the American business interest. So Trump was already on record opposing the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, which is the basis for case on Gautam Adani. So in case the Trump administration wants to abrogate this law or weaken this law, dilute the provisions of the law, or prefer not to act based on this law, Gautam Adani can be saved. So the Trump's hostility, antagonism towards the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act gives the hope for Gautam Adani. Number 3, Gautam Adani is an intelligent man. So November 6th, Adani tweeted that praising Donald Trump and talking about the Trump's victory in a very big way. See the tweet of Gautam Adani felicitating Donald Trump on November 6th. So this indicates why, well, Gautam Adani may perhaps, as a routine matter, might have expressed his happiness. But if you read the tweet, you don't get that kind of an opinion. The tweet is clearly talks very high about Donald Trump. It doesn't indicate a routine method way in which a business tycoon greets the incoming president of the United States. So therefore, there is a special love and affection evident in the tweet. Well, Gautam Adani knows pretty well that there is a case coming like this. Somebody may say that on November 6th when he tweeted, this case was not revealed. But we do not know it. I'm sure Adani knows it. Gautam Adani reports say that knows about this case coming right in March itself. So he may be taking a precaution to praise Trump so that he can seek help later. Look at another tweet given a week later. This is on November 13. See it on your screen. What does this say? This says that Gautam Adani wishes to invest $10 billion in United States of America in renewable energy infrastructure and facilities. Well, what does it mean? It means 84,000 crores to 85,000 crores. Very huge investment. It is expected to generate 15,000 jobs. I'm sure you know that this language is music to Trump's ears. Trump loves investment. Trump loves jobs. Trump wants to make America great again. Trump loves America first. Well, here is a businessman who is coming in support or in solidarity with the Trump's agenda. Well, Trump may turn oblivious to Adani's criminal charges against Adani just because this businessman is ready to invest in America, ready to create jobs in America. This is the third dimension which creates hope for Gautam Adani. So, will Trump come to the rescue of Gautam Adani? Well, nothing conclusive can be said at this point in time, but perhaps, yes, for that there are valid reasons to believe.